show. I am Turch, and with me is my co-host, the CEO, the man back from Perth. It's Kieran. How you doing, buddy?
Thank you very much. I am back from my hometown.
Your hometown.
Where I was born.
Yep.
Where I was raised.
Yep.
Left when I was 9 years old.
And then someone said a bad joke about your wife, and you slapped him in the face.
That's right. That's what happened. And I've gone back to Perth a couple of times. But this is probably the first time I've gone back to Perth where I haven't actually been... Because I've gone back to Perth, and I've always stayed with family, right?
Yep.
So I've sort of seen the suburbs, and then I've had to do something. Like last time I was there, it was a conference. So I stayed with family.
Yeah.
Pocketed the money from the university.
Yeah, because you didn't pay for any
Hotel
accommodation.
yeah.
Our food.
Yeah. Go to the conference for 2 days and then fly home. And then the time before that, very fucking similar. So I'm there. This is the first time I get to walk around Perth. Haven't flown in with family. Got my own flight. Got my own accommodation. What a shithole Perth is.
Well, I've never been. You
Uh-huh.
always say to me we should go only to watch the AFL.
Yeah.
To watch your beloved Fremantle.
Fremantle Dockers, that's right. And the Derby was on as well when I was
Oh,
there.
really?
The Freo versus West Coast. And I'm like, I'm an idiot. Why didn't I get tickets to the game?
Well, probably because you had a wedding on.
Yeah, probably. Well, it was on the Sunday. The Derby was on the Sunday.
You could work from home on a
I was
Monday
very
and-
excited to get out of Perth.
That's
Not
fair
gonna
enough.
lie.
It's fair enough. Was it Subiaco?
They've got a new stadium, Perth
new stadium.
They're very proud of the stadium. It's not as big as the MCG.
Yeah.
But
MCG is like the 10th biggest stadium in the world or something like that. Yeah, it's
there's also no traffic in Perth.
well, there's no people in Perth.
Yeah.
You flew over there and you increased the population by an actual percentage.
It's just like there's just no people.
Yeah.
Coffee sucks.
Well, no Italians went over to Perth.
You can tell. You can tell. Where is the culture?
Where is the culture?
It is a bogan culture out there.
Yeah.
But no, it was
Germans moved to Perth.
It was fun. It was fun. My cousin got married. I got shit-faced. Good to see my cousins. A bit of nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
Going through Perth. A lot of drunk people passed out in the parks.
Well, that's part and parcel of going to a quote-unquote country town.
And no one seemed to, blink an eye. So, there you go. Visit Perth, everyone.
Well, if you go to St Kilda, it's basically the same thing. Drunk people in the park or at least people on drugs.
Yeah.
Or on the beach.
Yeah. I did go to my dad. I'm like, was this always like this when I was growing up? And I just didn't notice. And he goes, yeah.
Rose-tinted glasses, isn't it? Like, you go back to certain places, you think, yeah, this is a really fun place. And then you go back there and you go, why did I even remotely like what it was?
Yeah. I mean, I was a kid when I left, so all I wanted was candy.
Yeah.
That was my mission. But Turch.
Yes.
I've got some rants.
Oh,
I've
good.
got some rants.
I got some stories. So I got some stories about my mum. You're going to love them. You're going to love them.
Excellent. Haven't been on an airplane for a while.
Oh.
It's been a couple of years.
That's right. And the flight to Perth's what, 3 hours? 3
or 4 hours.
Yeah.
I pride myself on my airport and flying expertise. I'm the man. I bought slip-on shoes for the airport, which I'm wearing now.
Perfect.
Right? The carry-on bag is packed. The laptop can come out. Whoosh, I know the system. I know how to get through airport security.
Quickly, efficiently.
How to dodge the people that swipe you for the bombs and keep going, right? I've got it down pat.
That way you can get the bombs on the plane as quick as possible.
That's right. Of course, everyone wants to fly out of Melbourne Airport on a Friday.
Well, yeah.
And Virgin Australia is doing renovations.
Are they? Oh, there you go.
So there was 4 lines. And the lines were so long, I couldn't actually pick. I couldn't do when you're at Aldi and you're like, which line am I going to go in? Which line might be longer, but is it faster?
It's the Apuna Hatsapita Pedalon at the supermarket. It's like, it's full of single men.
I'm like, where are all the business people? Where is that line? I'm joining that
Where's
line.
the guys with all the ties and the women with the power suits and that's the one I want because they're smashing through.
So I couldn't figure that out.
Yeah.
So I just pick a line.
Yep.
Well, it was the slowest line.
Ugh.
It was very, very frustrating. But anyway, I get through. Flight's delayed. No problem. second playbook of traveling: get drunk.
Yeah.
So I get drunk. How
much is a beer on a plane these days, or do you do the
well,
Scotch
this is
and Coke?
pre-boarding.
Okay,
I'm
you're
at the bar.
carbo loading.
I'm having some
So
beers.
you're at the Irish pub.
Yeah. I'm
having a Guinness.
stomping ground. It was stomping ground.
Oh, lovely.
Yep.
Good choice.
Yep.
Good choice.
So there I am. I've got
Not a sponsor.
a couple of drinks.
That's a throwback line to when we used to say
It
stuff
is,
like
it
that.
is.
It's 150 episodes ago.
You'll know what, mate, when we bring it back.
Yeah, that's right. That's when the show's ending. We've got no more bits.
And you never when they call the flight. I mean, I'm sitting up the front of the aeroplane.
Yeah.
Right. Not business. Can't afford that. But I'm sitting in seat 4A. It's got the extra.
Well, you can afford that, but you're not going to spend it on a 3-hour flight.
No, I'm not. So I'm sitting in 4A. I've got the extra leg room.
Good.
Right, but
Yeah.
I'm not down. And we've got the section, so you don't have to worry about getting on the plane and putting your stuff in the overhead locker.
Yeah.
Like it's a bit more civilized.
Yeah.
Civilized. Okay, so I've got that. So I don't understand why people. I wait for them to go paging Dr. Thorpe. Please make your way to. That is when Kieran heads out to the aeroplane.
And they're going to wait for a doctor as well. They're like, cool, we're going to get this boy on the board on on our plane, just in case the worst happens. Then you're like, look, all I can do is tell him to go, recommend him that he go to another doctor.
That's right.
I can only refer him on rather than actually doing anything.
So anyway, I board the aeroplane.
But does he want to come on the podcast?
I'm sitting in the window seat.
Yeah.
So life's good.
Is it the two seats and then the aisle, or 3 seats?
Three seats
Yeah,
and the
okay.
aisle.
Okay.
3 seats in the aisle. No one's sitting in the middle seat, thank God.
Amazing.
Oh, this is great. This is fantastic. So, because this also it weighs up the decision of, do I keep drinking because I'm going to have to go to the bathroom, and I've got the window seat.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, no one's in the middle seat.
You're safe.
So
You're good.
bring on the booze.
Yeah.
So I bring on the booze. I order one of those cup noodles. I'm drinking. So at this point, a lot of liquid has entered my system.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm not worrying about that.
Yeah.
I haven't flown for 2 years, Turch. I have forgotten about the liquid situation.
Okay.
So I now need to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Well, but that liquid situation would happen in any situation where you're drinking copious amounts of alcohol and then a soup.
It would. So I need to go to the bathroom,
Uh-huh.
and we hit turbulence. So the seatbelt signs on.
Uh-huh.
All right. So this is
You still go.
this is bad.
I mean, if you're in the toilet and then the turbulence sign goes on,
And then
do you still sit when you're peeing, or you go for it?
I go for it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Just go to the toilet. You're
go
gonna
for it.
pee.
No, but you can't get up when the seatbelt sign's on. You're supposed to
It's
sit.
a myth. Did you know? It's recommended.
It's recommended, right? And then the person that was sitting in the aisle seat, she was probably about 70, and fell asleep. And so I can't actually get out without waking her up.
But you're so tall. Why did you just step over the seat?
I couldn't step over the seat. I was like, do I do this or do I not do this? And then
How far into the flight are we that you needed to pee?
we've got about an hour to go.
Yeah, you can't hold that.
No.
I'm sorry. You're
No.
a 30-year-old man. You can't. The bladder is not as strong as the youthful.
And then I'm
20
sitting
year
there.
old.
I'm sitting there going, "Oh fuck!" I'm counting how many drinks I've had.
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Oh fuck!" And then I had the soup.
Enough drinks that if you told your doctor, he'd be like, "That is an alcoholic."
So I was in a bit of a conundrum.
Yes.
And then I was like, "Right, meditate."
You're trying to just like just trying to sweat it out. Hey, why is that man over there? He's got COVID? No, he's trying to not pee.
Anyway, then I'm like moving in my seat.
Do you have to wear a mask?
Yes.
Oh.
I have to wear a mask in the airport and on the aeroplane. And they're like, mask. Everyone actually wears them properly.
Yeah.
It's actually really amazing.
It's only on the train is starting to
The
be...
train, no one wears it properly.
I was going to say, the train is
Airports,
very much 50-50 now.
100%.
Yeah, okay.
I feel like everyone feels like they're going to be on like the blacklist if they don't wear it.
That's... Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
So, anyway, I'm like, they turned the cabin lights back on.
Okay,
With
so
about half an hour to go.
You're on track to go to the toilet.
I'm on track to go to the toilet. So anyway, life was good. On the way back, Turch.
So can I ask a question? Yeah. As you're walking past this old lady who was possibly asleep, did you give her the butt or the dick?
I gave her the hand on the shoulder and then the butt.
The butt.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that's more polite?
And I think when you look at how big I am,
yeah,
because she sort of did like the knee turn, and I was like, "You need to stand up because I'm uncoordinated."
Or you need to do like a full 180 right out of the way.
Yeah,
okay.
This is not going to be great.
So on the way back.
This rant's really more about my mistakes that I've made.
It's a story, nonetheless.
On the way back, I'm sitting in 3A.
Yeah.
All right, because I've got the extra legroom. Life's good. But the problem with 3A, Turch, is the folding table tray comes out of the armrest.
Oh,
so
yes.
you actually lose some width.
I get that.
And once again, I'm not a tiny guy, but it was much more uncomfortable than 4A. And then I'm also sitting to myself, why the fuck? I always book an aisle seat. Why did I get a window seat? I always get an aisle seat so I can get up and drink copious
enjoy
amounts
life.
Try and do the Wayne Boggs challenge on the aeroplane and not be stuck in these situations of being trapped.
I can't. Yeah. Okay.
I don't like to be trapped on an airplane. And
I don't like being on an airplane.
It's been 2 years, Turch, and I pride myself on airport security. And
security?
Getting through airport security.
Okay.
And that I've got travel down, Turch. I mean, many years ago on the podcast, I told you how I went to Vietnam and I got to the airport so fucking early. I was the first person in line just so I could get the right seat.
It's true. So that was many
I stuffed up
that was
twice. Twice.
Prior to a pandemic. Another one survived by the show.
The pandemic's ruined me. Then I had a neighbour. The middle seat wasn't empty and it was very uncomfortable, and I've decided I'm not getting on an aeroplane unless I'm in business now. That's it. Done. No more.
Even for a 1 hour flight to Sydney, would you still go business?
Maybe I could emergency exit. Row.
Yeah.
I went on a trip
4A,
to Sydney.
Yep.
I don't want to go to Sydney. There's nothing good in Sydney. I'm just going to stay in Melbourne.
It's true. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Don't know why I need to go to Brisbane.
I'd go to the Gold Coast.
Maybe I'll go to the Gold Coast.
Go get drunk over there.
But business.
School these kids.
They're
Fiatuli. Hey kids, you want to buy some? Actually, Buddy got to sell me.
See, now, if I was sitting next to you, it would be all right because you're tiny. So I could have, taken over more room.
I may be a tiny guy. Like, I'm short.
Yeah.
But I'm very broad.
Yeah, no, you are. It would
It's not, I'm not, But also, my trick with flying is that I'm a time traveler.
Uh-huh.
And what I do is I put my headphones on.
Yeah.
And then I close my eyes. And then I'm at my destination.
Fuck off. Don't tell me you're one of the people that can just sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, you...
So I'll have like a drink or two, have something to eat, and then I have to put the sticker on my forehead that says, please wake me for dinner.
Oh, no.
Jess hated me.
I am sitting next to you because I'm going to eat your dinner.
Jess hated me because we were sitting there and I go, everywhere, even on the trains from different cities, I'd be like, how long till, from one city to another, and Jess would be like, 5.5 hours. I'm like, good. Headphones on. Podcast on.
Yeah.
10 minutes I was asleep. And Jess was like, how the fuck did you do that? We traveled from Australia to Germany with a stopover in Dubai.
Yeah.
And I was the only person rested.
Unfucking believable.
It was amazing.
I close...
It's a superpower.
If I close my eyes on the aeroplane and I'm sort of like, oh, I think I've slept. It's been 15 minutes.
You have to... I think the trick is you have to listen to podcasts.
No, I've just got ADHD and can't stop moving.
Oh, me too.
And then I move in the seat, and it's because it's so uncomfortable. This is why business is the only way to go now.
Yeah.
You
need the extra.
I need the bed.
You need the bed.
I need to be pampered. I need and I fucked up as well, Turch. I fucked up because I've got the lounge access, right? I was like, I'm going to get to the airport. I'm going to enjoy the lounge. The lounge is going to be wonderful. Life's going to be good, right? And I missed because there's work going on at Melbourne Airport.
Yeah.
The train's being built.
Yes.
The train is being, yes. But
I think that project was, like I said, they were going to start that
the entrance
50 years ago.
Because I've moved house. I'm not coming in from your side of town to the airport.
Yeah.
So I'm coming in from the other side, and I missed the entrance. And then I ended up on the freeway. And then because they've done the roadworks, and the roadworks are now open, I was in the wrong lane. So then it ended up being like another 30, 40 minutes, right, of parking my car and then getting on the Sky bus, and the Sky bus was packed, so I had to wait for the next Sky bus. No, not Sky bus.
Sounds like the worst trip.
Right. So all of that's happening. So then I get to the airport because I think I texted you. The other thing is, the airport signs don't say that they were delayed.
This is something you had to bring in. I think I messaged you about that.
Yeah, so they said they didn't. I was like, they don't say delayed anymore.
No,
they just
changed the time.
They just had a time, and so I was looking for when I sort of said my thing and sort of looked at the time because it didn't say delayed. It didn't occur to me, and because in Virgin, you go to the Virgin Club, but you have to exit it, you then go through airport security.
Yes.
So in my mind, I'm like, oh fuck, I sort of don't have time for the lounge.
But you actually did because it was delayed.
Well, I did because it was delayed.
Yeah, I think you messaged
Which
me
then
that.
I'm now buying my own beer. And if I was in the lounge, I could have realised that I was sitting in a window seat and drinking and tried to change my seat. And Turch, life is very difficult.
You messaged me that they did, and I told Jess, and we were actually both really angry. It's like, why the fuck would they do that?
I was Googling. Google was better at telling me, it's like, the incoming flight has been delayed, which means your flight is delayed.
Yeah, it was like a simple system. Like, yes, I understand. Even if you change the time, you have to say it's been delayed.
Because delayed then tells me I can drink.
That's right. It gives you, it's like, okay, something's obviously happened. It's all amazing. Amazingly bad.
Yeah.
The airport, I haven't had a flight yet, now that we've opened up as a country.
I just hope that this has been a public service announcement for everyone.
This is actually a public service announcement.
So, if you haven't been flying, because I would refuse to fly if I'm in the middle seat.
Yeah.
If I'm in the middle seat, I am not getting on
Unless
the
I'm
airplane.
between two people that I know.
Nah.
I'm not interested.
Nah, I have no care for the middle seat.
Oh. Kieran,
I would have stayed in Afghanistan if I was in the middle seat. That's how much I don't want to be in the middle seat.
You hang out with the Taliban. They're having a good time over there. They're doing women's rights now. Can't go that wrong. Can't be that bad. I think I messaged the group that I ordered something from Dyson, like the vacuum cleaner.
Things. Yes.
And they said, yep, we're going to ship it. And they said, they're shipping it. And I'm like, oh, how great is this? It was like next day they said it was shipping. And that was on the 2nd of April.
Uh-huh.
And then they said estimated delivery date was the 19th. Despite the fact...
Of April.
So 17 days.
Oh, it's going to be in the same month.
In the same month.
That's amazing.
Despite the fact it was already about 3 suburbs away. So what I did was...
This is almost like the tomatoes that are picked in North Queensland.
Yeah.
Then go on a truck to the depot in Brisbane.
Yeah.
To then be shipped back up to the Woolworths in North Queensland.
Yeah, exactly. The same one. So I found out where the plant was, or the warehouse was that it was currently being stored or kept, for delivery. And did a Google Maps, had a drive here to my house to drop it off. And it was like 34 kilometers.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, between the 2nd and the 19th, that's 17 days. How slow? How slow? If you just started today, Well, 34 Ks, you could walk that. It would take you all day.
Yeah.
But you would get here.
Marathon runners do 42.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
And the top of the best one in the world takes 2 hours.
Yeah.
So he would be here in about an hour and a half. Okay. All right. Okay. We're not going to be...
So we need to hire some more marathon runners.
Australia Post can't get him, obviously, or any marathon runner. If you say put it in a car, it's going to be here in half an hour. Maybe an hour at the most just because of traffic, whatever. So I was trying to find out how fast would it actually be. And it worked out to be 70 meters an hour.
70
So
meters,
if they
that's
put it on
amazing.
something and it drove, not even in a straight line, like as the crow flies,
on the
following
roads.
the road.
Yeah.
So all the up around like the ring road, like and then not cutting through, just following the road. 30, these 34 Ks or whatever it was. Followed all that, it would have to travel at 70 meters an hour. And I was thinking to myself, how slow actually is that?
Mm-hmm.
And the closest animal I could find that travels 70 meters an hour.
Is an ant.
No, ants are too fast. Sloths are too fast.
Oh, wow.
The garden snail travels at 50 meters.
A garden
50
snail.
meters an hour.
Wow.
So, you know what? Basically, what I'm saying is, a garden snail, give it an extra day, would have had it here.
Yeah.
Potentially as fast as what they were expecting with all the modern transport and human ingenuity that we have.
How long do you think we can use the pandemic as an excuse?
I don't think we can anymore. Everyone can go back to work, except for that 1% of people who
Warehouses are backlogged.
Well, that's not my problem. Hire more people.
Yeah, but we don't have people.
I know, we're going to import them in.
Yeah, we stopped people coming to Australia. We forgot how much this country
runs
operates
on free labour.
Yeah.
No, that's why fruit and veg is so expensive at the moment.
Because we've got no one picking it, which is all the backpackers
That's
that
right.
aren't here.
Speaking of fruit and veg being too expensive. Perfect segue.
By the way, blueberries
I
were
know.
like $5 the other day, and then I go to the store like 2 days later, they've gone up to $6.
Well, I went to the shops and everything's quite expensive. And I love cauliflower, especially with like not eating too many carbohydrates. Cauliflower is a really great substitute, like, roasted, or you can grate it up and make it like rice. Great substitute.
You make it as like a pizza base.
Yeah, you can do a whole bunch of stuff with it. Delicious as well. I really like it. Some people don't. That's fair enough. But if it's too expensive, I don't buy it.
Yeah.
And I went into the shop and cauliflower was $9 each. Not a kilo.
Yeah.
Just each. And I'm like, holy fuck, that's insane amount of money for a cauliflower.
Yeah.
Like, this must be the biggest fuck off cauliflower, locally grown, sourced,
organic.
like all
the
that
monks
sort of
have
stuff.
been praying at the cauliflower. Yeah.
I'm not buying a cauliflower. There's no way. What fucking idiot. This is exactly what I said to myself. What fucking idiot is paying $9 for a cauliflower? So I go over to my parents' house on Sunday, and my grandparents are there, and they're talking, obviously, they're pensioners.
They've probably grown the cauliflower in the backyard.
Oh, well, they're sort of cutting down because Nonno's getting older, but it's like, things are getting really expensive these days. Fruit and veg, like, it's really hard for pensioners.
Yeah.
Everything's gone up, but the pension sort of stayed the same. We were talking about, like, prices. Strawberries or like, Mum was saying, $4 a punnet, and Nonna's like, no, I saw them for $3.20, and I said, $3.50. And then I was just about to say, I saw cauliflower for $9. And Mum goes, yeah. And before I even said that, Mum comes in to the conversation and goes, yes, and cauliflower, ridiculous, for like $9. I still bought one. But there was $9, and I was like, in my head, I go to my, like, oh my God. And I go, Mum, I saw them for $9. I go, what fucking idiots
buying this for
$9 cauliflower.
Yeah.
But I've got the answer. My dad lost it. He was just like, yeah. No cauliflower's worth $9.
Is your dad now going to do the grocery shops?
Nah, it's too late. He doesn't care. He doesn't care.
They're boomers. They've done well out of the pandemic. They can afford the $9 cauliflowers.
They can afford whatever the fuck they want.
They can afford the avocados.
Avocados are cheap at the moment. Not like $1.20. It's not bad.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. It's but it's not the Hass ones, it's the Shepherd ones.
Oh, right,
right. It's good,
yeah, they're not there.
I got another funny story. Of course, I saw the grandparents on the weekend, so I've always got a story about them.
I love the grandparent stories.
So I was talking to Nonna about something. She was patting the dogs and all that, sitting at the table. My Nonna was on the couches away.
Mm-hmm.
And my mum was and he was watching some sport.
Yeah. Go Sports. Probably the Fremantle West Coast Derby.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably it was some footy game because I can't remember who was playing. And he was watching that. And then he was talking about someone. And then the name Anthony, my name, popped up. And then he's like, oh, Anthony, he's 53. And I sort of heard it in the back. And I go, oh. I'm like, I'm not 53. Like, I'm not that old. And then I was like, no, not talking about you, Mum. I was like, no, we're talking about your brother, like some relation.
Yeah, right.
Some relation.
Who's or either called Anthony or Nick.
Yeah, it's Anthony. And I go, oh, that's funny. Like, and I was setting myself up to go, look at that. Italians really only have about 4 names. Like, great, funny joke. But Nonna goes, yes, Anthony, he suicided himself. Like, full on, like, Epstein suicided himself. Like, that's how she said it. It's like, oh, yes, and Anthony, he suicided himself and so did his wife. And I go, fuck it. But Nonna said it. Deadpan. Yeah. Like, he suicided himself. And that was it. Like, just full deadpan nothing. And I'm like, Nonna, that is the funniest thing. It's so sad. Sad as well. But she just went, bam. Like,
no messing around.
Nothing. Just dead. Like, I see he suicided himself. Like, what the fuck? What is she on the memes already?
Oh, I love how you do the accent. Like,
it's good when I just say it, but it's even funnier the way she said it. He suicided himself, and just that's it. Like, what life am I living?
Like, what do you want from me? I've got to pay $9 for cauliflower. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah. You got another rant?
Well, I do.
Yeah.
Ties.
Yeah. Sorry you didn't have my nonno there to make you a tie.
No, it's fine. I googled how to do a Windsor tie knot. That's fine.
I don't know how he does it on the leg.
I know, amazing.
What is talent?
That was amazing. Just seeing him. Tie length.
Oh, impossible to get.
What is an appropriate tie length?
I've always been told from the best nonno and his brother that the bottom of the tie has to be halfway onto your belt.
The bottom, the triangle.
So the triangle at the top, the tip of that has to be halfway of the belt.
Halfway off the belt.
So the belt's in there, has to, like, the tip has to be in the middle of the belt.
That's right. And then you've got people who have ties that are way too long.
Yeah, it's way too long.
Or way too short.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But like that's the sort of thing.
Yeah. Tie length is something that's grinding my gears, Turch. Mm-hmm. And maybe because I've had 2 weddings and I've had to wear ties, I've now noticed everyone on TV that are wearing ties. Yeah. And the tie lengths are just
all over the place.
And
the knots never look nice. They always do the dodgiest knots.
Yeah. I mean, it's only taken me until the age of 32 to actually figure out how to do a Windsor knot. Uh-huh. Not the parade college. over. It's an actual knot.
Or your dad makes you knot 1 year and you just like slip it on, slip it off sort of thing. I don't have to wear ties. In my old role, I had to wear ties because where I worked, there was a certain clientele that wore uniforms and they wanted the uniform. And in my new role, when now going back to the office, I'm like, oh, do you want me to wear suit and jacket? And they're like, no, you can wear chinos and a t-shirt. And I went, yes, I've got a whole closet full of suits
with ties.
With ties, yeah. So, yeah, I don't get that. That's what I want to talk about the Grammys. I know. So the Grammys were on. I don't know. Did you know that?
I'm learning it now. Who won? Was Bill Burr there?
I don't know Bill Burr.
Because Bill Burr hosted it last year and it was fucking hilarious.
No, I don't even know who hosted it this year. I don't really care about the hosting. I know Louis C.K. won the best comedy album.
Oh.
And everyone's just like, didn't he like rape a woman? And I'm like, no, he just just asked if he could whack off in front of him. Like, it's very different.
Very, very.
He did ask for consent.
You
know, he's like, hey, do you mind if I whack off in front of you and then shoot it into a plant?
Yeah.
You know, that's what he did. So two things bother me about the Grammys. One was that they had the Prime Minister of the Ukraine call in via Skype at the Grammys.
Well, you know, it didn't happen in the Oscars, so...
I know. What a catch. That's
Yeah.
what... So, at a music... Okay. At a music awards show,
Yeah.
the Prime Minister of a country who's currently in a war with another called in to say, hey, we're the good guys in this one here. Thanks for your support. I don't know how... If you had to describe that to someone like 15 years ago, that would sound utterly retarded. That would be like, you know, the Prime Minister of England calling in 15 years ago at the Arias in between the Veronicas winning one, going, we gotta fight the, you know, we gotta go with the troops.
Yeah, support us against the IRA.
IRA or something. And
Yeah.
you're like, okay, isn't this meant to be about the music?
Yeah, I thought it was meant to be about the music.
You know. And look, certain people, so I don't know
Do they
why.
do speeches? Do the ones that win do a speech?
I don't really.
If we ever won an award like that, Turch, what's our speech going to be? Are we going to have the aim to be played off?
Oh, I would just be as vulgar as possible.
Excellent.
You know,
Yeah.
that would be it. You know, that was like when what's it
Give
called?
me the We Only Do One Take podcast wins the award.
I just want to do something. I want to be as badass as the Ramones.
Uh-huh.
So when they were inducted into the Hall of Fame or won an award or something like that, that was at the time when everyone really hated George W. Bush.
Right. So we would be saying how much we love George
Yeah,
W.
so
Bush?
basically, Johnny Ramone went on stage and just said, God bless America and God bless the President of the United States. And that was it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that fucked everybody. Everyone's like, fuck you, this and that. Because this is when George Bush was really hated. And because he was a Republican. And he just, yeah.
I'd get up there and say, I'd like to thank you all for supporting Australia's war on terror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something fun like that. That's where the direction I would go. But here's the other thing I didn't like about the Grammys. And it sort of relates to something I've been talking to, I think 2 weeks ago.
Are they needed anymore? Are the Grammys needed?
Oh, the Grammys have never been needed. That's the thing. Because no one needs to win an award for music. Music is art. You shouldn't win prizes for art.
Yeah.
You know? It's a weird sort of thing like that. And look, some of the people who won, fantastic. Some of the people who won, I was like, I don't really think they deserve it. But, you know, whatever. What are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
But someone who did win big was Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak, the band Silk Sonic.
Yeah, are they still around?
Well, they've only released one album.
Okay.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
If you ever listen to it, amazing album. Leave the Door Open. They won best song of the year. They won album of the year, and they won best R&B song of the year with the same song. Fantastic album, fantastic record. Can't wait to hear more from them. Right. Here's where it gets a little bit... This is where the intrigue and this is where the Twitter hate mob come in.
Yeah.
They win this award. They won Record of the Year.
They won the Golden Globe.
They won the top end. They won
the Golden Logie.
You know what? There's lots of categories. They won lots of categories, but they won
the Golden Logie.
Best R&B song, best song, song of the year, and album of the year.
Yeah, okay.
To me, that's a clean sweep.
So that's pretty good.
That's a clean sweep, right? When they win the best, win album of the year, when they say thank you, this and that, Bruno Mars pulls out a cigarette on stage, puts it in the mouth, lights it up, has a cigarette.
Oh.
Amazing.
Love it.
fucking Twitter was like going crazy. People going crazy like, oh, doesn't he know smoking is bad for him? Doesn't know smoking, you shouldn't smoke indoors. What is this, the 1950s?
Oh, right.
Why wouldn't we warn that there's cigarettes on the screen?
Oh, right. They want the warning.
Do you remember?
We would go up with cigars.
Oh,
Turch.
just like,
we would.
Fuck yeah, boy.
And I would have a bottle of alcohol and some wine glasses, and we would be pouring it and drinking and cheering.
Okay, so remember when I watched the Muppets and I brought it in like they told us.
I don't remember when you watched the Muppets because I wasn't there when you watched the Muppets.
I watched the Muppets and I brought it into the show because they had the warning screen at the front saying cigarettes.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, when is this? Like, I understand the drug references or we're doing illicit drugs. It's illegal. Probably shouldn't be promoting it. But cigarettes are not only the backbone of what helped build America and many other countries. And it's only bad for you because of the other shit that they put into it. Tobacco is actually quite not great for you, but neither is fast food.
Right. Yeah.
Backbone of American or farming and all that sort of stuff. It's not too bad for you, but they still put a warning label saying, "Oh, there might be references to cigarettes," and they did that in the Muppet Show, and they've done it on some actual television shows like.
They don't want the parents. The parents want to have the opportunity to wrap their kids in cotton wool.
Well, okay, so I'm really worried now that they're gonna.
Twitter's great because you get to see so many great comments and dickheads, and it's just fun. It's just very fun to scroll through it.
And I'm really worried.
Yeah.
And mark my words.
Yeah.
Next time give it like 6 months to the year. 6 months to the year.
That's right.
You're gonna see.
Yeah.
On all your classic films, like westerns, or it's gonna alcohol, people using alcohol.
They're not going far enough. I want to know before I watch a film every detail. I want to know. I
want to know the plot. I want to know the characters.
The demographics. Yeah, the plot, the characters. I want to make an informed decision about whether I actually want to watch this film. No more shall they deceive us.
I don't need to watch the film. I just need to read a synopsis with everything in it. Just ruin right like Star Wars. Like the intro scroll. It just keeps going.
Back to the Future needs to have a warning that an old person is friends with someone who's 18.
I'm pretty sure that'll happen if there's a relationship between an older man and a younger woman, a 30-year-old man and an 18-year-old woman, because people on Twitter are upset. They think. An 18-year-old woman dating a 30-year-old man is grooming.
We need these warnings, Turch. No. How can I make an informed decision?
Because it stops.
Why didn't the airline tell me that seat 3A was a little bit shorter in width than seat 4A?
I don't know, Kieran.
I could have made a better decision, Turch.
You'd think they would all be the same.
Yeah, no, but it's got the armrest.
But you know that because it's the front one.
Yeah.
That's lack of your understanding.
I know, yeah.
Oh, I'm really worried that with
no warnings on this show, Turch.
No, of course not. I'm really worried that we're eventually going to get to the stage where they're going to go, oh yeah, it's got people drinking alcohol in this episode of the Sopranos, and you're like, well, who cares?
Well, they smoke in the Sopranos,
and they smoke.
They smoke cigars. In the
it's
Sopranos.
People smoking cigarettes or cigars,
and there's tits in the Sopranos.
Yeah, but they always do the nudity.
Yeah.
And I still don't think that should be.
The Sopranos is... Oh, have you seen all the Sopranos?
I haven't watched The Sopranos at all.
Oh.
Yeah, everyone says that.
What are you doing? That needs to be your show. You're going to learn so much Italian culture from The Sopranos.
This is the man who's like, what's gabagool? It's not nothing. Nothing. It's capocollo. And I bought you some and you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, but you're going to watch The Sopranos and you're going to see them say gabagool.
I understand.
Because it's hilarious because in The Sopranos, at some point they actually go back to the old country.
Yeah.
But they're sort of they realize that they're different.
Yeah, of course they are.
They're Italian but not Italian.
Yeah.
Very, yeah.
It was an old... I can't remember what...
Watch The fucking Sopranos.
All
It's
right.
a great fucking show. Plus, there's a psychologist in The Sopranos, and she does an amazing job. I've learned a lot of my degree from The Sopranos.
Yeah. It's how you actually understand me as well as you do.
Yeah.
There used to be an old sketch, and I can't remember where I saw it, and it was Italian Americans and their kids doing a spelling bee, and they were doing like words, and it's like, all right, spell mozzarella. M-O-T. It's like, no, that's not how you spell it. It's like, what are you? Hey, you're not Italiano. What's going on? It's like, no, you don't spell it mozzarella. It's mozzarella.
Mozzarella.
It's not prosciutto. It's prosciutto. It's not capocollo. It's a gabagool. It's capocollo. Like you're butchering all these beautiful words.
It is a very beautiful language.
It's the Romantic languages. It's one of three. And then Spanish, which is second, and then France, which is, last. French.
French. Yeah.
You been to France?
Yeah.
Should go. Go for the art.
One day.
Go for the art.
One day I'll go. Turch, I've got an article.
Yeah, please.
Actually, I've got a couple of articles.
Oh, well, that's good, because I'm sort of out today. I had to go into the office, and I don't get to spend my day just researching articles.
China's regulator cracks down on using feng shui to predict stock market trends.
Why would they even need to do that? Because China doesn't float their currency, do they?
Yeah, but people in China can still invest in like worldwide stocks.
Well, I guess so.
Yeah, and then their own stocks.
Yeah.
China's securities regulator launched a crackdown on brokerages using feng shui to predict stock market trends in their research notes or investment advisory businesses. I just think that's hilarious because it's all crap.
Can you imagine like they're doing feng shui and moving things on? It's like, yeah, the housing market's going to go up. Well, I could have predicted that one. How much more accurate, or what would be comparative analysis?
Yeah.
And into eventually a metadata analysis. How comparable is it to actual financial analytics?
Probably. Look, it's probably comparable because you probably just need to flip a coin.
Do I buy this? Yes, no.
Yeah.
Or did you see that Elon Musk is now the largest shareholder of Twitter?
Is he?
He just bought. Yeah, he owns like 9 or 10% of Twitter now.
Oh,
and
cool.
the first thing he sent out was, "Hey, I own like 10% of Twitter now. I'm really big. Should I say the N word?" That's some top top tier stuff right there.
Oh, that's too good. Do you have any news?
I tell you what. Maybe I do. You keep going.
All right. This is a quite important one. Church of Flying Spaghetti Monster.
Is that your church?
Yeah, it is my church. Church of Flying Spaghetti Monster's leader is fighting to wear his religious hat against the local DMV. Gary Smith is the leader of the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, wants to wear a pirate hat in his driver's license photo. The ICBC has deemed the headgear unacceptable. As we would all know from the Church of Flying Spaghetti Monster, people can wear basically a pirate hat or a what's that cylinder thing? The coriander
colander. Yeah.
On their head. Past a colander or a 3-cornered hat known as pirate's tricorn on their heads. Smith claims the ICBC should allow the photo request, just as has already been allowed for his ID as a marriage commissioner and for his firearms acquisition license.
You think that would all be on the same license? Like if you got a heavy driver's license, like it's just on the same driver's license. Heavy vehicle.
I don't know, this is like not Australia, Church.
It's true.
This is...
The Church of the Spaghetti Monster...
Flying Spaghetti Monster.
My apologies. Flying Spaghetti Monster. That's basically the atheism...
That's the atheism religion.
Quote-unquote religion. What I don't understand about that is their push for this sort of stupid stuff. Like, you know how we always talk about
But it's
religion?
really important.
Why?
Because other religions get away with their stuff.
So what? So,
And I
so
want
is that all
more.
the
I
religion
want
really
more
needs?
I want more religious holidays, Turch.
So what you're telling me is a religion needs a handful of things. It needs some sort of deity. That would, I guess it. Second one is a cool hat.
Yep.
And the third one is a public holiday. And then you are officially, you should be able to go for tax free status.
And a couple of religious ceremonies. These are very important.
Why did? I mean, I'm.
This
sure,
is our leader.
I'm sure I've.
Our
told
leader
you.
wears a pirate hat, Turch.
I'm not wearing a pirate hat. It's just not.
He needs to wear his pirate hat. It's part of his religion.
Out of curiosity,
How can one deny
how many
this?
atheists
Yeah.
are child predators?
Oh, probably whatever the normal population's child predators are.
Because I think
A lot less than the Catholic Church.
well, the Catholic Church came out with a number many a year ago.
I think it was like 5%.
No, 2%,
Oh, okay. I thought it
2
was
or
5.
2.5% of priests,
Priests.
or people
Yeah.
in the priests and above are
Kitty fiddlers.
yeah. And I was like, is that the if that's the average?
That's well above the average.
Do you think it is?
Oh, shit, yeah.
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 Because there's no. Here's something for you. The reason why priests don't marry is not actually a religious thing. It's
I thought it was a Catholic thing.
no. It was.
Because Anglican ministers marry.
That's right. It's a Catholic thing. The reason why they don't or they can't is because of old laws put back in place to ensure that no land was handed down to offspring.
Right.
So think about
I thought it was just expected that you needed someone who knows nothing about marriage to tell you about marriage.
No. So
Yeah.
what would happen is you would become a priest, right? And you'd go into the town and go, I'm your priest. And a lot of the time, the place where the town you're living, would go, oh, here you go, you're the priest, you can have this block of land, right? And, if you have a wife and kid, and then your kid doesn't become a priest, becomes, I don't know, a blacksmith or something, eventually the kid just inherits the land, which they got for free.
Yeah.
And the church are just like, well, no, we can't have that happen. So they're like, no, if you do become a priest, you're not allowed to have a wife and family. So when the priest dies, the land then gets owned by the church. And that's why out of everything in the world, the Catholic Church owns the most land around the world. And that's the reason why priests aren't allowed to have families.
Anyway, my religion, the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, has a problem because our leader can't wear his leadership hat.
But he changed it. He said he had a pirate hat and then he has a colander. You got to stick with one. You can't have
No, you can have one or the other, Church.
one or the other.
One or the other.
No,
Or you can wear both.
You got to have one. Like the Pope only has one hat. Like
Well,
that's
maybe
it.
he should have. This is my religion.
Diversifying his hat collection.
My religion gets to do whatever it wants.
Yeah, but you got to stay within some. What's the Scientology hat?
Oh, fuck, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I just pick the one that, makes fun of all the other religions.
Why is it okay to make fun of Catholicism and Scientology, but as soon as you make fun of the Jews, you get banned off Twitter?
I don't know. Look, I have a lot of fun making fun of religion.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I had to bite my tongue the other day as I walked past a Christian union.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I understand religion to the point of where it's not for me, but I respect it enough to go, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get why people go into it.
Yeah.
I understand why. And I understand the allure of it. It gives people hope. And it gives people, they feel like morality. And it gives people like my nonna something to believe in the afterlife.
That's nice. It's nice.
And
for
that's
you,
it.
Nonna.
And the art's pretty fucking great.
The art is. I'm not an art appreciator.
Yeah, I know, but if you were to get like a picture of modern art, and then something from the Renaissance.
I'm artlestic.
Yeah, but if you saw a picture of like Pollock, right, where he displays paint.
I was on our school tour to the art museum, and we were looking at this like footy painting, and the person who's taking us on the tour was like, "Smell the picture," and so there I am like an idiot going, "We can smell like the painting, like
just scratch and sniff."
whereas she was like going on about like pretend you're there and you're smelling the meat pies.
It's like if you got like an Andrew Pollock painting, which is like the guy like he would just splat paint and do this and that, and then you compared it to like Da Vinci's Last Supper or something like, or the Mona Lisa or whatever.
Yeah.
Or you
can appreciate the effort.
Yeah, but one was created by an atheist and one was created by a religious man. Which just proved religious people make better art.
I have no care for art. I don't understand it. I don't get it. And one day I'll probably become an art collector.
You appreciate the skill, though.
No, I appreciate the effort and the skill. Yeah. There's no doubt about that. Turch, I got another article.
Yeah.
Putin's forces
are
grinding to a halt because weaponry uses parts made in Ukraine. Putin risks running out of serviceable tanks, missiles, and some fighter jets because the components they use are made in Ukraine.
So he decided to start a war with a country that makes his guns. And
yeah, pretty much. The engines for all Russian helicopters, ships, and cruise missiles, and a substantial proportion of fighter jets and ground-to-air missiles and tank components are made in Ukrainian factories that no longer sell to Russia.
Do you know what the Panama Papers are?
Now,
Google the Panama Papers, right?
Yeah.
And I think this is...
Wasn't that on WikiLeaks?
Yeah, it was a whole bunch of stuff like that. It basically turned out that a lot of like ministerial type people, politicians, were embezzling a whole bunch of money with a whole bunch of really shady things.
Yeah.
And one of them was the now Prime Minister of Ukraine. Very, very shady type of dealios in that sort of thing. And it I think that's why I just don't care about Ukraine as well. Like I think Russia was going in there now.
Uber driver the other day was telling me how corrupt Ukraine was.
There you go.
Yeah.
But even so, like Russia is now taking over parts of Ukraine because they want to get it back. I don't even know exactly the reason. I just don't really care that much. But someone was showing me, like people are going in there now. Well, two things people showing me. One was that people from Reddit are deciding to go over to help the Ukrainians. And when they get there, they're taking photos of of them at the bases and places where they are. And the Russians are looking at the stuff on Reddit and finding shit out and going there and sending in troops and killing people.
Well, the Ukrainians are also poisoning bread.
Yeah.
And all these things and leaving it for the Russian soldiers.
It's like, but the other thing I found out was that a lot of the I can't even remember where I was going with this, but Ukraine itself used to has a bit of a Nazi, like a neo-Nazi component to them, like a political party that sort of neo-Nazi.
Yeah, right.
And everyone's like, no, they're okay because they're actually helping what people consider the good side of Ukraine, like trying to fend off Russia.
See, I've got no understanding of any of those like internal politics.
No,
of what's going on.
But like only like 6 months ago, people were like, "Oh, we're going to get the Nazis out of Ukraine," and I'm like, "But now they're helping what you consider the good part of Ukraine, fighting the Russians, so they're okay to stay."
It's very complicated. What I think I want, Turch, is your mum's opinion.
You know what? She has no opinion. My dad doesn't get it. Like, we're just staying right out of it. Look, I have a side for Israel-Palestine. Israel, obviously.
Yeah.
Because one, the US is backing them.
Yeah.
Two, they don't mind the gays as much as the Palestinians who throw them off buildings. and 3, you know,
Which
better
one?
hats.
Which one makes the better food?
Yeah, Jewish food's pretty bad.
Right.
If you can make fun of one thing the Jews have, it's bad food. You can't blame, you know. I've never eaten, what's it called? Palestinian food.
Yeah, I think I need to try both.
Yeah.
Both meals before I can come to an informed decision.
There's no pork in there's no pork in either of them.
Yeah, right. Well,
so that's
I won't bring homemade
salami.
and salami and any of that
If
over.
the Christians got anything right, they said pork, we're cool with that.
Yeah.
And then they went off and said, well, if you're not going to eat it, we literally made an animal that is only for our consumption. And we make it as fat as it can be, and we've bred it enough that it literally eats anything and still produces good meat. What? If that isn't a marvel of religious and science combined to create one of the most delicious animals that you can have. I don't know what it is. Now that is art.
That's art I can appreciate. Yeah.
I got nothing else, Kieran.
No, I got nothing either.
We had a couple of longer episodes, lots of guests, so hopefully some more guests soon. But with all of that, ladies and gentlemen, you know what? Do you want to wrap up the show, Kieran?
Sure, you can find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Twitter, Spotify, the Gram, Facebook. Do we have TikTok?
You're making that.
Oh, well, that's never going to happen. If you would like to send us some hate mail, a death threat, or a rant, record it on your phone and email at us at weonlydoonetakePodcast@gmail.com. Turch, thank you very much.
Oh, it's always a pleasure to have you in the studio.
That's great. And we will see you guys next Thursday.
Woo! I don't know if you know this, but Shitty Song of the Week each week has someone to introduce the episode and say the results from the previous episode, and they asked me to do it. And I took a clip of you doing the whoa. And I said, say hello, Kieran. You're like, whoa! Check out Shitty Song of the Week.
That's pretty funny.